The contest was over, and Kurafat left immediately. She didn't exchange words with anyone, nor did she even look at Benita to see her expression. If he had looked, he would have seen that the girl was caught in a dilemma, hesitant, not having the courage to approach or greet. Only then did he realize that what he had done the night before had not been kind at all. It wasn't a matter of flattering someone powerful or rich, but simply wanting to apologize. That's all. After all, the concern Kurafat showed last night should not be ignored. "What's wrong with you, Bo? You've been looking so sad since morning," Mint asked, noticing her friend's dejected expression. It didn't seem to be because she had run away from home, since Benita had been thinking about it for a long time. You don't decide to leave the home you've lived in all your life on a whim. Many things happened before she made that decision. Besides, the results of the contest didn't seem to be the reason for her mood. If you treated someone unpleasantly. Who? I'm not done talking yet. Benita sighed at the interruption. That depends. If it's someone important, I'd apologize. But if it's not, then there's no reason to worry. There are more important things in life than wasting time on people who aren't worth it, Bo. Hearing this, Benita let out a deep sigh and nodded. I agreed with Mint. You couldn't please everyone, but you also shouldn't be rude to those who were good to you. Even if I didn't know if that person had ulterior motives or not. I won't ask who it is, but if it's someone important, go and apologize right away. Don't let this become a bigger problem. Benita nodded again. After packing his things, he left the auditorium. As he made his way to his college building, Mint said goodbye to meet his girlfriend. But before reaching her destination, Benita froze when she saw a familiar figure walking around the place. Kem walked impatiently, constantly glancing at the elevator and stairs. His behavior was unsettling, almost threatening. Benita felt a chill as she realized that he had probably already gone to her house and not found her. Maybe her mother had told him that she had run away with her belongings. She quickly hid behind a tree, biting her lip and clenching her fists. It was obvious that neither her mother nor Kem would let her simply disappear. They knew where she studied, what her major was, but fortunately, they didn't have detailed information about her schedule. As she tried to think of what to do, her gaze fell on the figure of Queen, talking to someone next to a familiar car. She remembered the vehicle well, as she had been in it twice before. Thank you very much for participating in the trial, Kun Queen. You're welcome. Anyway, it's part of the job. Besides, this way I can see if the money invested is going to those who really deserve it. You can trust me. The company will never allow its reputation to be tarnished, especially with these projects that have always helped build our image. Kurafat nodded. It wasn't her first time as a judge. The company she ran with her mother and brother had been doing this kind of thing for a long time. Part of it was to attract media attention without major investment, and part of it was to strengthen the company's image. The small amount of money, earmarked to provide opportunities for students, did not compare to the benefits that this act brought. Have a good trip, ma'am. The driver opened the back door for the female boss and then hurried to take his post. But before the car could drive off, the other back door was abruptly opened, revealing Benita, who quickly climbed in. Hey, the driver exclaimed in surprise, getting out of the car to try to remove the intruder. Kurafat's security guards also moved immediately. Someone having managed to get so close to their boss was unacceptable. Please let me go with you, Benita said directly to Kurafat. The businesswoman's gaze was intense, and her serious expression made Benita even more nervous. She had been rude to Kurafat the night before, and now here she was, asking for help. The security guard opened the door, leaning over to pull her by the arm. However, before he could do anything, Kurafat raised his hand in a commanding gesture. It's okay, close the door. Yes. As for the carelessness that allowed a stranger to sit with me, we will settle that at home later. The stranger Kurafat mentioned turned pale, feeling the pressure in the air. Furthermore, the irritation in the woman's voice was noticeable. If she hadn't been truly helpless, she would never have run to that person for help. but she did so because she thought she would be safer with her than being found by Kem. The imposing bodyguard swallowed hard before shaking his head. "Excuse me, ma'am." "Close the door." The car door was closed as ordered. The driver didn't even dare to return to his seat and just stood outside, waiting until his boss called him. Is running into someone else's car like that the right thing to do? No. Benita replied in a low voice. Normally, that woman wasn't so strict with her, so there was always room for stubbornness and tantrums. But when she encountered the queen in the way she treated others, Benita didn't know how to react. "If you know it's not right, why did you do it?" "I expect a convincing answer, babe." She didn't know why, but every time that woman called her that, a strange feeling ran through her body. It wasn't exactly ticklish, nor something she completely enjoyed. It was something positive, but hard to define. "Can I get a ride to the university?" "A reason?" "I just want to hitch a ride." "Reason for getting into my car, and reason for me to drive you to the university. Tell me." Benita bit her lip, feeling pressured by the woman in front of her. Maybe she was still angry about what happened the night before, and that was why she was ignoring her so seriously. "Last night, you rejected my help very firmly, and now you come running to me for help." "Yes." "If your explanation isn't convincing or you don't have a reason, you can get out of the car. I'm not that kind of a person." How spiteful, what a sharp memory. Benita wanted to act as usual, pretend indifference, not depend on anyone. But the situation didn't allow that. If she got out of the car now, Kem would definitely see her, and that would cause a lot of confusion. Kem was not a patient person. She had known him for years and knew that well. "I'm sorry." Kurafat frowned. So many sharp words were on the tip of his tongue, ready to order her out of the car, but they were interrupted by a simple apology. She had expected a long explanation as to why this was necessary, but she hadn't expected that the first thing Benita would say would be this. "Sorry for what?" If she was apologizing, Kurafat would accept it, but only if Benita knew exactly what she was apologizing for. "For what I did last night, for not being kind." And also for today, for opening your car door out of nowhere." "A reason?" You." Benita hesitated. Should she tell the truth or not? Her answer could lead to several outcomes, good or bad. "There's someone I don't want to meet waiting for me at college." "Don't you want to find it?" "No, I never want to see that person again in my life." Kurafat nodded, remembering the information his employees had discovered. "And what do I gain by helping you now?" "What?" "I accepted your apology, but since you rejected my goodwill once, you don't think it will be so easy to receive it again, right?" "And what could I give you?" "Don't look at me like that. I told you I'm not nice." "But you are not cruel to me." Kurafat sighed. Just look. Even when asking for help, Benita continued to respond in an impudent manner. "The queen I know has a sharp mouth but a kind heart." "Don't talk like you know me that well." Benita sighed. Whether she helped or not didn't matter. At least she had already managed to apologize for what happened before. "If you won't help me, then I'll leave. Sorry for the inconvenience." Kurafat didn't say anything, just watched Benita turn her body to open the door with a look that was hard to decipher. And just as the door was about to open, "You said you don't want me to be your sister. So tell me, how should I see you?" "Why do you need to define what I am or am not? At the end of the day, I'm not important to your life anyway." "Don't draw conclusions from me. Keep that in mind. Until I say something, don't assume that I'm this way or that way." The firm voice was accompanied by her presence approaching. The soft hand, which seemed to have never done heavy work, touched his cheek, guiding his face so that he looked into her eyes. "Did you understand? I'm an only child. I already have a close friend. There's no longer any role for you in my life." Kurafat also didn't know how to define Benita, other than stubborn. Didn't she realize that everyone around her feared her? Who did she think she was to dare argue with her like that? Then let it be like this forever, my dear. The woman stepped back and sat back down in her seat. Her sharp gaze fell on Benita before she said in a firm tone, "If you want my help, come sit here. If you can't sit here, you can get out of the car." Benita's eyes widened. Here she meant on her lap, not in the seat next to her. What do you mean? Hadn't I said I saw her as a sister? What sister would ask for something like that? You don't want me to be your sister, nor do you want to be seen as my sister. So I'm going to change my way of thinking. I already told you, I don't do that kind of work. I just told you to sit on my lap. At no point did I say I would hire you for something you don't want to do. If you don't want to, just get out of the car. You are putting pressure on me indirectly. And even. The two of them remained silent for several minutes, until Benita, unable to bear the pressure, began to cry. It was as if all her internal strength had suddenly collapsed. She didn't want to obey the order, but she also didn't want to get out of that car. In the end, not knowing what to do. Her tears fell. Once again. Kurafat was not accustomed to tears. Throughout her life, she cried very little, and neither did the people around her. Her experience in comforting anyone was practically non-existent, completely opposite to the image of a powerful woman that everyone knew. Come here. Without realizing it, his tone of voice softened. He was no longer as harsh and distant as before. Aren't you ashamed to cry in front of me like a child? I'm younger than you. Benita didn't hold back. In the end, she ended up snuggling up next to her, being surprised by a scented handkerchief that Kurafat used to wipe her tears, as if she were a 10-year-old girl. Can you go a minute without answering me back, dear? And can you stop forcing me? Kurafat sighed. Feeling a mixture of irritation and amusement, he slid his hand down to Benita's slim waist and pulled her closer. If she hadn't held on, she would have already been sitting completely on his lap. WW Queen, that's too close, don't you think? Close how? I'm practically sitting on your lap. Then sit down at once. Didn't you want me to be your sister? Well, I won't treat you like one anymore. I'm not kidding. And do I look like your playmate? Benita bit her lip. Being questioned like that, she didn't know what to answer. About your scholarship. Thank you so much for recognizing my potential, but can we not talk about studies now? I just wanted to say that if you want to make some extra money, I need someone to summarize the news for me. What? Someone to read and summarize the daily reports for me. Don't you have a secretary, Queen? Whether I have it or not, what does it matter? I'm not hearing you to be my secretary. I want you to be my reader, someone to read the reports for me. I have eyes I can read on my own, but I don't want to. Kurafat cut in, letting go of Benita's slender waist. But strangely, the warmth of her touch and her softness still felt trapped in his hands, on his skin, refusing to disappear. If you're going to accept the job, you should at least say thank you. I don't give this opportunity to just anyone. Benita also started to feel a little irritated with Queen. How could she be so arrogant? To take revenge, even if subtly, she clasped her hands together in a prayer position and bowed slightly, touching Kurafat's left chest with an exaggeratedly ceremonious gesture. Thank you very much, Queen. Kurafat was momentarily paralyzed. When she looked down, she saw only the soft strands of Benita's hair resting against her right chest. Instinctively, her fingers clenched tightly to stop the urge to caress her head. The whirlwind of emotions she felt at that moment was something unusual for her. As soon as Benita walked away, Kurafat signaled for the driver to resume his duties and said in a firm voice, "To my apartment. I would like to get off at. You come with me." What? Come with me? Or is that sentence also difficult to understand?